What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to Streamcast, the show on the internet where we watch the latest and greatest stuff on streaming services with you guys. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How's it going, bro?
Yeah, it's going good, man. How about you?
Doing great. We just came off the back of an epic True Gamer podcast with the upside down kangaroo man himself, Tyler.
It's true, we came on the back of Tyler.
We came on the back of
did,
Tyler.
yeah.
He greatly appreciated that. He loved it a lot. His favorite thing to do.
He did.
But it was a really good discussion.
It was good fun.
Who would have known that Tyler's a gamer? You know, he sometimes fakes.
He kept that one quiet.
Exactly. I mean, he talks about games on the As Always podcast, pretending that he's a gamer. But
yeah, you know when someone clearly isn't familiar with the material, it's not their passion nor their strong suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I made that joke again today.
He should go host G4. That's what he should do.
Right.
Yeah. So if you guys want to go check that out, it will be live this weekend on Saturday. Head over to Patreon. Sorry, no, not Patreon.
That's
sorry,
right.
Head over to youtube.com/c/conversations1. Don't know why the hell they do that.
Okay.
Now. That's just the way it is. Or you can search for Conversations. You guys can see all the True Gamer podcast, and you'll find exactly what's going on.
That's right.
That's really awesome, right?
As
there.
it came up naturally, totally organically, and not by mistake, you mentioned Patreon.
Yes.
I'm assuming that's patreon.com/conversations.
That's right.
What about it?
There's some fine people over there who support us over at the $15 tier. Our super bros who help keep the lights and mics on and everything going over here. Those great people are Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumsock, Sabine from Smallville, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sunling. Sorry, I'm dying. This is gonna be. Thank God you have to start off leading this thing because I'm gonna fucking die. Sabine from Smallville, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sunling. Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger. The Super Sus Ben Fryer, the $69 tier Patreon.
Gamer.
Boy, nice. I don't know why I said boy, but there you go. The Ultimate Splorare, Adam, the High Quality Potato. The Filthy FIFA Fanatic, Joe McCormack, my Juicy Left Nut. The Sexy Producer, Sean, Big Boy Billy. Catsper the Friendly Patron, the Gamer from Gaming Shire, Dave Bindis, Chris the Artiste, Rick the Hentai Dwarf, Master Chief himself, Albiscory, Kevin the Number One Simp.
Stop.
I was like, I'm going to stare at you and see what happens.
You already got Tyler with that today.
Of Xbox. Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the streaming service is going here at Streamcast.
That's right. I feel like I kind of messed it up because you went sim, pause, P, really big pause, but frick the audio versions.
Nah, the audio versions. Who cares about them? Guys, thank you all for tuning in for another episode. It's been awesome to have you guys. If you guys are on Spotify and things like that, feel free to head over to our page and rate us 5 stars.
Yeah.
There's a brand new system they've started over on Spotify. Helps us out a lot. Thank you so much for that. And also, if you're over here on the FPN, on the YouTube channel, hit that like button, subscribe. It's awesome stuff going on here. Go check that out. Bro, today we're going to be... Was there anything else you wanted to say?
No.
Okay, today we're going to be talking about The Witcher Season 2, Episodes 5 and 6.
Yeah.
This is the penultimate part to the penultimate part to the end right here. Things are getting a bit heated. There were some...
Is that a fire pun?
Get it, guys? Get it? Because the guy makes fire. A lot of it. It seems to be his thing.
Like one candle's worth.
His only thing is fire for some reason. I don't know what his deal is. Things are getting heated. I think it stepped up a little bit since the last 2 episodes that we watched.
Yeah.
There were some issues there. I felt a little bit better about these episodes. How do you feel?
I feel like the pacing's much better now and it feels like stuff's moving. There are still things that I just cannot stand. And I can't help the fact that it finally got interesting and good.
Yeah.
And we're 2 episodes away from the end of the season.
Yeah.
And I feel like this should have happened at least an episode ago. Like episode 4 feels like a waste. At least one, maybe even episode 3. Like I feel like everything that happened in those 4 episodes could have been made down to 2. or maybe 3, and then we could have had like the final sort of 4 odd episodes to go.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels weird.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of enjoying it, but I'm also finding that I'm hating the show.
There is some issues with it, and it's hard to get your mind off of those things. And
Yeah.
it's taken away from everything. But then Henry Cavill just comes on screen, and I'm like,
Henry saves every scene, and it's actually almost one of my complaints.
yeah,
Because Henry is so good and so Geralt that in any scene he's in, he just outclasses everything else going on. With 2 exceptions. The scene in episode 6 where it's just him, Ciri, and Yen,
yeah,
where they're kind of just hanging out a bit, that was nice.
mm-hmm.
And the lady that runs this temple,
yeah,
she felt fine next to Henry, but when he's next to any of the witches, they don't fit. When he's next to pretty much anyone, unless he's fighting them,
outclasses them.
yeah, like, and it's not just because he's Superman, a Hollywood actor and stuff, but like he's so perfectly Geralt, and everybody else is just hired for their role.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it feels like he's like a AAA, and everybody else is like sort of just there a lot of the time. So
I guess the only reason why that works is because Henry Cavill, while that is true, he doesn't act like that. I guess. I mean, that's what
yeah, I
everyone
mean,
says.
he's a very humble guy, and
Yeah.
also he loves the role, and I think that's actually quite easy to see. I think a lot of the roles people are working, yeah, and I don't mean that negatively, that they're not good. I'm saying like a lot of them, it's a job that they're doing, you know.
Yeah.
And Henry feels like Geralt,
Yeah.
and again, that's not necessarily. I bet someone there's a better actor, but just he fits the role so perfectly in his casting. He's a very talented actor. He knows the material. Like I think it's really important to him to do Geralt justice.
Yeah, it is.
And I think that kind of makes the difference.
The only person that really that is cast better, at least now after episode 3, since they fixed her, Triss, because they gave her ginger hair. Then it's
True, and whitewashed her skin. Yeah,
before didn't fit at all.
the whole Uncanny Valley thing. That I like that way better.
And then they gave this,
Oh,
and I
God.
was like, "Oh, that fixes
Oh my
every
God,
problem."
I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Overall, what did you think of these 2 episodes?
I liked it. I especially like that we're getting a little bit more into like the monoliths and stuff like that. And I want to know, and we're seeing more of the wild hunt is nigh. And however, I will say the Yennefer stuff isn't picking me up so much.
I agree. I'm going to go one step further.
Yeah.
Not Yen. I hate Dandelion
Oh.
or Yaskia in this.
Yeah, he's not doing good in this, is he?
He's not doing good. He feels like an old spinster woman that can't get over getting dumped once, even though that isn't really what happened. He's like 10 years down the line, and,
Right.
and he's repeating the same one song where he's dumping Geralt, basically, even though it didn't go that way.
Yeah.
And none of his arc makes sense. That whole like sandpiper thing, it doesn't make any sense.
Out of nowhere, so I'm helping the elves.
Yeah, I'm helping the elves,
Why?
and this one elf who we've established as a coward, he goes and gets himself killed for no reason. And then Dandelion gets everybody on a boat, which these guys who don't like elves would 100% know about because there's not a lot of space down there and they're taking up all of it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he like gets kidnapped or something. I don't know. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
I really am disappointed because I loved Jaskia Dandelion in season 1. He was one of the highlights. Forgetting Geralt, like, because obviously Geralt is amazing. Everything about Geralt's good.
Yeah.
But like Dandelion was one of the consistent things throughout the whole season that you could just count on to make whatever episode or part of the episode he was in better.
Yeah.
And I found that to be the complete opposite in this season, which bugs me because I love Dandelion in the games.
Yeah.
I like Dandelion in season 1. So why, like, I don't know, it feels either he was squandered or he suddenly got really shit, and I suspect he didn't suddenly get really shit.
Yeah.
Do you know
all of
what
a
I mean?
sudden.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's kick it off with.
Why don't you take the lead?
I will, sir. Thank you very much for handing me the baton there. Thank you very much. Episode 5 starts with.
Can't find your notes?
No,
And
no,
that's
it's just
why-
here. It's just here. It's
That's
just
why actually, I've forgotten these sometimes, haven't I? So it doesn't always work out. It starts with a dude clicking
Yes.
in a thing which, I mean,
I was
I
just
got,
about to say that.
of course you were. I just wanted to take the spotlight.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'd say I saw the clicking thing being very obviously like his thing.
Yeah.
It was a bit heavy-handed. So he's in a cell. Is it in Aretusa?
I think so. Yeah.
I think it's in Aretusa. And a chick we've never seen before
Never.
is like, hey, I know you do bad things. He's like a magic hitman.
Yeah.
And I got work for you. And she has keys.
And we're like, who the fuck is? Who is this guy? Who are you? No, we don't know anything right now.
And she's like, I know you kill indiscriminately and for no reason, but let me let you out of the Demeterium cage, which is stopping you killing indiscriminately.
Yeah.
And I'll hire you for a job. Also, it's about Ciri. Basically lays out
Yeah.
Ciri, but she doesn't know Ciri. And then we cut to Dandelion singing.
Yeah. His it's the same ending of the same one, isn't it? The burn, Witcher burn. It was even the same because like he had a hat on that gets taken off by a girl, and I was like,
Yeah.
it's essentially supposed to be the same thing, but from a different perspective. And whatnot.
Yeah. Also, it was weird that we got this perspective because I'm hating the song. I mean, and not to compare it to Consequentia Witcher. I don't like the song. I don't like the tone. It makes Dandelion seem weird.
Yeah.
And like he can't get over something. And then we get this weird perspective of one of the maids or like the barkeep or something, the lady going up to the guy saying, oh, you know, someone here was born without ears. What I wouldn't give to change places. Like she hates the song as well. This is the most famous bard ever. At least pretend you like the song because none of us do.
Yeah.
You know? So like that happens. It's a shit song.
And it turns out that hitman guy is there as well, and he's drinking and whatnot.
So it sort of cuts to him watching it. I guess he was there all along.
Yeah, and he's the guy that takes Jaskier.
Yeah, he's why Jaskier disappears.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things where, and this is a bit disappointing for me, is they kind of fell back into the season 1 time stuff because we start back before the end of the last episode. It's odd.
Yeah.
And then we cut to another shot of Istrid and Geralt appears. And it's sort of the continuation of what happens when Geralt arrives, which is that they have that same interaction and then Geralt... Well, it's a little bit better. He tells him, like, if I have this right, he tells him there is a broken monolith and I think monsters were living underneath it or whatever, and they're coming out, and Istrid's like, this is a silly joke. Triss is playing on me, I don't get it, but whatever. And then Geralt shows him the head. Takes
out the head from the bag, drops it on the ground, and stuff.
Yeah, I was hoping actually that it reminded me of that scene from Doom, the 2000. Weirdly, this has come up again, but when the scientist lady sees one of those things for the first time, she's like, "What is that thing?" Like I was hoping for that,
a bit more.
But he's just like, "Oh, that's not normal, but like I'm used to it." You're not used to this.
Why would you be used to this?
You spent 90 years as an archaeologist, bruv. You ain't used to this.
Yeah.
Odd.
And then they go out on the road, I think, right? I mean, I don't know. You got the notes.
Yeah. So, this is what happens. So, Geralt arrives. We see and that whole thing that happens with Istrid. We see all that weird stuff in the tavern with Jaskier, and then we see Yen notice that he's disappeared and gets off the boat.
Yeah,
it's like it's a weird jumble. It's very odd.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're back to Mage Guy using fire. Oh, that's how it works. So we saw that Mage Guy was there. I think it cuts to then Yen. It jumps around, man. But basically, we cut back to Mage Guy torturing Jaskier.
Yeah, he's in the chair. He's been beaten a few times, and he's snapping in the background. You can hear.
Yeah.
And he comes up, and he's got like the flame in his finger,
Yeah.
and he starts torturing. He's like, "Well, it's a shame that you don't know anything." Starts burning his hand, and Jaskier basically just gives it all up, but he doesn't have much information anyway. He's like, he abandoned me in this place.
Again, it's weird because first of all, I didn't remember how jumpy that first bit was, but he's talking to the guy saying like, "Don't talk to me. I'll tell you everything." And that is, I know nothing. But he tells him what he knows. He abandoned me 10 years ago. He doesn't talk about these things. I don't know any details. I never met the girl. And then he goes, "Oh, and he has no weaknesses." Like, you supposedly hate this guy now.
Yeah.
So why are you?
I think he's still got a soft spot.
I don't know, which would be
Just
fine.
in his art.
I just, his whole thing bugged me. Like, I liked him the last time when he's doing that old Jaskier with Yen in the boat. That was great. And then
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So he tortures Jaskier, and then has this been happening the whole time? We get the Witcher logo, and it's different. Normally, it's the wolf.
It's different, yeah.
Has it been different every episode? I just haven't noticed it.
Yeah.
I am stupid.
Every episode in the first season as well was like that as well. Different every episode.
What?
Yeah.
I am dumb.
Well, the thing is, if it's not like the shot and you're like, "Oh, it's the title card," no worries, don't need to look at it.
Yeah, that's when I can check my phone, isn't it?
Exactly.
Okay, I guess I only noticed that now, 2 seasons and 5 episodes in.
Sorry for the cough of the mic there, sorry.
Basically, a couple of things happen at once. Geralt asks, let's just do all of Geralt and Istrid for this bit. Geralt starts talking to Istrid about the monoliths, right? He's like, this is my theory, that the monsters live underneath them in these subterranean tunnels, and like when one was broken, that's how they got out.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that is ridiculous. That isn't how it works. And then they go on like a mission to one.
Yeah, the one near Sintra, the one that
Yeah.
was broken by Siri.
Which, I mean, he makes a point of saying it's like the oldest one,
Yeah.
or one of the oldest known, and I don't know if that's relevant. It just happens that he says it.
And he also says he's never actually seen it. He's like, I've never had access to it
Right.
or whatnot. So
Which I guess
Almost
explains why
suspense.
he doesn't know it's broken.
yeah.
They head there, have a little weird interaction with guards, which...
This is off limits. I work for Nilfgaard estate. I don't care who the fuck you work
Yeah.
for. Geralt just knocks one out, and then the other guy blows the other one off. With
Istrid basically does a better ard.
yeah.
And then...
Takes more out of him though. He's probably like, see, I'm useful.
Oh, right,
It's
something
like-
like that. And then they go to see the...
Giant hole in the ground.
Yeah, it's like a big crack, big cavern, and the monolith.
Yeah.
And that's unusual.
Yeah.
Also because it sounds like up until this point they're indestructible.
Yes, that's what he says. They're like the indestructible things that no one ever knows what they are,
Right.
what they're doing, and whatnot.
And like the power it would take, just the energy required to do this thing would be like ridiculous. It
Yeah.
It's not really possible. But there it is.
I had forgotten what the monolith looked like.
Yeah.
Because it's the first season that you see it, and then right at the beginning, and you never see it again. And I was like, is the monolith the crack in the ground, or is it in the ground, or was it... thought it was like a stone above it, but it turns out it was a stone above it.
Yeah.
It fell in the crack.
The other thing as well, though, is that the size of these monoliths varies a ton. So, like, this one's relatively small. The one that we see him researching when Yen arrives in season 1, like in the dust and stuff, that thing's like a skyscraper. So, like, I don't know, it's odd. Maybe that was just a creative choice at the time, but this one's a lot smaller than that, and it did fall into this crack, and they decided to go down and have a look.
Is that I need to go down there to have a look.
Right.
And I think they get down there, and then there's no remains of animals or monsters
Or
or anything like
tunnels.
that.
Yeah, Geralt says he was expecting to find bones, right?
Yeah, of like something, because if something's been buried under there or being held captive under there, there'd be a dead one every now and again.
Right, no, and he's like, there's no tunnels, there's no remains, he says there's no tracks either, that's why.
Yeah.
So, like, they're here, but they didn't come from anywhere. So it's very unusual.
And there's a theory as well as to what is going on. Like, there are theories that the monoliths are conduits to power and so, but then they change their theory afterwards.
Yeah, so Geralt lays out the original theory, or maybe it might be Istrid, but basically the idea is that when the spheres, what's it called, conjunction, when they conjoined or whatever, that it was like a scar left over. So when whatever bits of like the different realms or planets or universe or whatever touched, they're like left over, like it got stuck and it stuck around. And then Istrid sort of goes, well, what if that isn't what happened? What if they're like a focal point for energy and it pulled the spheres together because of them? And lays out this completely ridiculous, off the top of his head, like it's a weird theory to, I mean,
it's a hell of a theory.
right, but it comes out of nowhere for no apparent reason. And then I guess we'll cut to Ciri.
Yeah.
Training in Kaer Morhen.
Yep. Still training on she's training on the obstacle course, but she's got her dummy in the part that doesn't move, and she's like slashing.
And all she's
away
doing
at
is slashing on the dummy when she could be doing that in the courtyard.
do it anyway.
I don't know.
Anyway, she's slashing it, and she's like, oh, I'm trying to train. Triss comes along to try and say, like, why don't you come down and you can, like, learn, like, something actually useful and, like, progress yourself. And it's like, no, I'll come later once I've trained a bit more.
Yeah.
And she knocks off the head of the dummy, and we're like, ooh, she's almost ready. No, she's not.
Right. And then I don't exactly remember how this goes, also because my notes are chronologically and we're jumping.
Yeah.
We're just going to condense stuff.
I think
Triss
Vesemir comes.
Triss and Vesemir talk, sort of out of earshot. Yeah. And she's like, I liked you better when you were
cynical.
And she's like, what? He's like, you're very cynical. He's like, no, actually, for the first time in a long time, I'm hopeful.
Yeah. Because she can make witches with her blood.
Right. And basically, Triss says, I'll help you, but only if she's willing.
Yeah.
If she's not willing to, we're not doing this thing.
Can I ask you, how did you think they were going to make witches from her blood? How did you think it was going to happen?
So, I don't know.
I was very scared that this was going to be a Ellie from The Last of Us situation. We got to crack her head open, lads. Let's do
You
this.
mean before we see it done? Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it might possibly kill her.
I was like, is this something like we get witches, but sadly we lose this little girl? Is this one of them situations? Because that's bad.
It's also very vague. Like, they say it's made from elder blood.
Yeah.
And that, I guess, just means elves, right?
I think so.
So that's unusual. So why can't you just find an elf?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a specific
Bloodline,
bloodline or
yeah,
something,
yeah,
you know, okay. And it did seem to be a huge deal,
Yeah.
but I guess it really wasn't. Also, I didn't expect it to be a liquid. Weirdly, I expected it, for some reason, I don't know why, to like solidify. Yeah, to like solidify into a little black like thing. And I also, halfway through it, while they were maybe going to do it, I was like, if this thing kills her, there's no way Vesemir agrees to this, because then you got no more older blood.
Exactly. So
I don't know. It was very confusing, very too vague.
How do they go for? What's the next part of this now?
And how do you make more of it when the thing that you made it from is dead? And do you always need her to make?
Yeah.
So many questions.
So
They
many
shouldn't have asked or answered anything. Also, it seemed incredibly easy to make. It's just that one missing ingredient, then a couple of flower petals, and you pour something in. Done.
And then Trish to say some funny words.
Oh yeah, she did say some funny words. Basically, after Trish says, "I'll help if she's down,"
Yeah.
Vesemir takes the opportunity once she's back in the keep to like show her around and basically say like, "This is."
He gives her basically barely any like comfort. It's like, your
Harsh truth is what he gives her. He gives her the cold truth and not a warm lie.
Like, you guys are what you're doing and whatnot. Kind of impressed.
Yeah.
So, why don't I show you something? And then immediately it's that. Like that,
Yeah.
all you said was one thing, and it's that's just
Like
on the side.
I think it's actually quite persuasive for Siri because it's the first time someone is just laying it on the line.
Yeah.
Everyone else has been to some point trying to protect her or trying to keep certain bits of information away because we all know that's how healthy relationships are made. And Vesemir's just like, do you know what these are? These flowers grow wherever the elder blood is spilled. And she's like, well, they're growing all over the thing. And he's like, yeah, they are.
And she puts two and two together.
Right. And he doesn't spell it out for her. He lets her come to the conclusion, but doesn't hide it from her.
Yeah.
And then he basically says, do you know why there aren't any more witches? And it's because we lost the ability to make them. And the key ingredient, the thing we don't have, is elder blood.
Mm.
And I think you might be able to tell. Right. And it sort of gives her purpose. She's like, okay. I don't know why. I don't get why she's like, but you have to try it on me first.
Yeah, it's an odd one. She says she'll agree to it only if she gets to be the first one.
Yeah.
But that's so weird because it's like then you're robbing anyone else
Yeah.
ever being made, and you've been told so far that it's a great thing to become a witcher.
And there's only about a 30% survival rate.
Had she been told about that?
Oh
before?
yeah, she fully knows.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I love also that the moment that she says it, Vesemir has that flashback
I loved that.
of all of the boys that he's like injected, and and then the corpses
7
just
out of 10.
afterwards.
Just yeah.
And then he's just like straight away he's like absolutely not.
Yeah. Also, and this is the bit that bugs me, is it's not like witches are men because we're sexist and girls can't be badass. It's like witches are men because it kills girls. It's something about being male that allows it to work, right?
I wonder why it is that he entertains the idea of Ciri then.
Also, because Geralt comes in and Vesemir absolutely knows better.
Yeah.
When at the end, Geralt's like, it wouldn't work. She's a girl.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and it's not about her not being special. It's about this thing works a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, like, and we know that. And if you made it from elder blood the way the old one was working, it works the same way. Why would you do this? So, I don't know. It's really weird. I'm liking Vesemir a lot more though.
Yeah.
Like I've not warmed up to him, but like I'm used to him being in the role, so I don't hate his casting so much. And it's pretty much after Eskel.
Yeah.
Everything up to Eskel I just couldn't stand, and then afterwards, like seeing a bit of the grief, and then also watching his conflict with the mutagen, and like sort of realizing, yeah, we'll make witches again, but like I have to go through all that flashback, and like to make
It's
witches
good.
is an evil thing.
Yeah.
There's no good way to kill 7 out of 10 little boys.
But they were like
And then torture
necessary
them
for
into-
the realm and whatnot.
Right.
It's quite good.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
I think while this was happening, before she gets her mutagen shot, before they're going to give it to her, the Geralt and the what's the guy's name? The other mage that he goes with to the
Istrid.
monolith.
Yeah.
Istrid. They're like talking and whatnot, and just as What happens to?
So
no,
the two things sort of happen at the same time. So
Yeah.
where oh no.
Triss.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Siri wants to do the thing, but she needs to get ready, like clean herself up or something.
Yeah.
And she runs off, and Triss goes to find her, realizes what's going down, and she's like, let's at least try this one thing first.
Yeah.
It's like dream walking or whatever, but basically all you have to do is trust me. That's it. And we might get some answers.
Yeah.
And it's like, it'll be really easy to do. So, but whereas what you're about to do is going to be really hard if it works and permanent and stuff. So let's just try it. And she goes,
Yeah.
okay, cool. They start off in like a dream pub almost.
Yeah.
And it's like all the formative figures, at least that we've seen from her experience, right? It's the
Populating it everywhere.
right. So you got the witches there. You got Vesemir. You got her friends from back in Sintra. You got actually we don't see her grandmother, but
Yeah, we see like the back of her head, but we
Yeah,
assume
yeah.
it's her.
Dara's there.
Yeah, exactly. The kids throwing the
Knuckles,
the
bones
knuckles,
or whatever
exactly.
it is, yeah.
And then the ball sack guy,
Ballsack guy,
ballsack armor,
who has a
guy is
real
there.
glow up with his armor later on.
Oh
thank God.
yeah,
And then she sees like her mum, and she's like flickering.
it gets dark for a moment. Like
Yeah.
Triss notices that. Wait a minute, this isn't supposed to be like this.
Yeah, and also because her mum says something or recognizes, she's like, "That's not supposed to. That's not how it
Yeah,
works. This is all
looks
about.
over.
This is more like a passive viewing. Like nothing here is supposed to be able to look at you. Only you can look at it."
Yeah,
And she says a bunch of times, "That's not how this is supposed to work."
Yeah.
And I would think, "Bale, bitch, what are
Yeah.
you doing?"
she tries to get out of there. They try to get out, but then they end up going into something else, and it's like a field
Yeah.
with more of those flowers from where Elder Blood is spilt. And then they see a woman sitting down by a tree stump. Again, flowers everywhere, bleeding from her
Yeah.
hip, baby in her hand.
She starts saying something in Elven, or she starts reciting a prophecy. You've got the notes. What does she say in the prophecy?
Just 1 second.
Oh, it's probably not important.
The time of the axe and the sword is nigh.
Oh shit, that's
all I
close
remember.
enough.
That's all I remember from it.
It's something like that. It's saying, it's weird though because Triss, knowing that this is supposed to be passive, goes over and like tries to stop the bleeding,
Yeah, if this is supposed to be just a memory, what the hell are you doing?
and then Ciri kind of makes connection with the chick, and then she grabs Triss by the neck, and it all starts
Goes all
popping
white
off.
eyes.
Yeah, it goes all white eyes, starts doing the prophecy.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, Ciri's like, "Oh shit, this is fucked. Go."
Geralt.
And then we cut to
Geralt.
Geralt and Istrid, and they're in the crack.
Yeah.
The monolith, I guess, reacts to it,
And they can hear her.
yeah, they can hear her voice, right?
Yeah.
And all that fancy word for that stone that's different.
Celicite.
So
Celicite, I think it's called.
good enough for me.
Yeah.
That all like goes up and flings down one way.
It's like all being like Magneto pulling metal. It's like
It's
flying
pretty-
one way.
It's visually satisfying.
And it goes around the corner. You see like a little flash of light, whatever the hell it is. And they're like, what the hell was that? And they get knocked out of their dream state and whatnot.
Yeah, that's right.
But Triss is super scared of Ciri.
Oh, I hate Triss.
Oh,
I hate Triss. So summarize the rest of Triss for this thing. She doesn't want to be anywhere near Ciri. Like gets away from her. She's like, "You're gonna kill everything. It's totally your fault. You're a villain," basically. And she's bare afraid of her. And then by the end of the episode, she just pulls away and rats her out to Madam Lady.
Oh, yeah.
To Professor McGonagall. Like, when did Triss become a rat?
yeah.
You know, it's also Triss is supposed to. The point of Triss and Yen's existence, at least in the game, I don't think she's book canon, is that there's a legit love triangle here because it's also a family triangle. Whichever one of them gets Geralt gets Ciri as well. They're both going to be maternal figures. She loves Ciri. That's the whole point. And even whichever one you pick, that one still loves Ciri anyway. Like, when did she become a rat that's going to... oh my God, I hate it. I hate it. Terrible writing.
Ciri then runs away. She runs to Vesemir to get the injection. She's like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's go do this. And
Cut
go on.
to In the Crack.
Yeah.
And I guess it's probably happening in a similar time.
Yeah.
But
Something approaches them.
something wicked this way comes. I think that's Shakespeare. I don't know. And it's just like, what happened? He's like, fucking shut, bruv. Like, can you not hear the... And it's like a, what do you call it? Stellacite.
Yeah, Stellacite dragon.
Pretty much.
And you can see it's all like black
Oh, my days, it's hardcore.
pieces and whatnot.
It's like, it's an armored dragon now.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's like dragon glass, but made out of all of this place in
exactly. And look, I don't want to fight a dragon,
it. Yeah.
let alone a rock dragon, a glass dragon. Like,
Yeah.
that's not going to be any fun. But luckily, it goes away.
Yeah, luckily it doesn't attack them. It goes off somewhere. And then Geralt's like,
make a portal now.
Can you make a portal? And sends him back to Kaer and he manages to get him right at the moment in it,
Right
like
in time, yeah.
they're about to put the thing. Vesemir loads up the gun. Is about to put it on her. Are you sure you want to do this? No problem. Puts the 17 needle gun
I was gonna say, what a way to do it.
right onto her arm.
Yeah.
And then I go, what are you doing?
Yeah. Like what? Okay. The one thing about this that really stood out to me. Actually, there's a lot. So it wasn't one thing. It's three things.
Go on.
Geralt, Ciri, and Vesemir all really impressed me in this scene, where Ciri's like really kind of lost.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, why do you even want to do this? She's like, I don't want to be able to forget my past like you do. And he's like, that's not how it works. You know, like it's not how it works.
You fight the hate rather than like try to forget it.
Right. Vesemir kind of sort of realizes what he was going to do in like like in the moment he got swept away, and then realizes that like, of course this wouldn't work. She's a girl, and like she's the only source of it. And I was going to do. He flashes back again, sees all those boys, which.
And even if it was like, okay, it could work. Still the 30% chance that it's going to be. There's still 70% chance you're going to kill Ciri. Hadn't even mentioned it to Geralt. Hadn't mentioned it to anyone.
Her dad basically is away. Oh, and if it works, she gets to be a Witcher.
Yeah.
Like a mutant that's going to be hated by everyone, who, assuming she goes into the trade, gets to die in violence.
And Dickhead didn't take any more blood out. It was just like, cool, this one shot, here we go.
Right.
Does it work after you turn into a Witcher? Who knows?
We don't know. But I did like how like he sort of goes into himself. He's like, well, I can't believe what I just was about to do.
Yeah.
And then one of the things that really impressed me was Geralt says, she's like, I just want to be like you, I want to be strong or something. She's like, you're already enough.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first time we've actually heard him say anything really kind.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I think that's the first time we've heard him say anything, let alone to Ciri. I don't think he said anything. Not that Geralt is unkind, because we know from his actions that he is.
No, he says like negative compliments. It's one of the things where it's like, I don't not hate you, or I don't not hate the time or you being around or whatever.
Right. Or like
it's never like I like.
Even back in
I'm
episode
good.
1 with Beast.
Yeah.
We know that he's kind because he lets the boy take back the first head.
Yeah.
And his thing is, well, it didn't affect the job,
I've got
but
no
it was
excuse.
out of kindness. But this is the first time I think that we've heard him say anything genuinely kind and tender and just to be nice to someone, but also specifically Ciri. And I really liked it, man. I really loved that little, like, you're already enough.
Yeah.
Man, I was like, oh man, I wish I had a dad who loved me like that.
I wish I knew my dad.
Right. Then what happens? Because my notes are all jumbled up now.
I have no notes, so there we go.
Oh, we'll go back to Yen, who is looking for Dandelion.
Yes.
And she ends up going to a prostitute and saying, I need you to go down to the barracks to check if this guy's here, like if he's picked up by the guards. And I think this is the point the prostitute gets it. She's like, and Yen should have easily come up with a lie here, but she's like, that's such a simple task. Why not do it yourself? Why pay someone to do something so easy? She could have just said, my husband's there or my ex is there or something. Like they're abusive. Yeah. It would have been real easy and a hooker would have known.
She's not exactly the smartest tool in the shed, right? She's not going to be like, actually, I don't believe
she's
that.
not known for her cagey business insight. She's a hooker, right? But she goes off, comes back. He's not there. Okay. But then she gives them some advice, like, hey, when I lose a man, I usually find them in the first place I picked them up in, like, so any tavern that he frequents. So she goes back to the original tavern, which I guess was close to the ship anyway.
Yeah.
Which it turns out is where Mage Guy has been torturing Yaskia. She comes in and pretends to be like his drunk wife or something.
Like, well, there you are. So you think you can leave me?
It was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Pretty good act.
And it was a great idea to what she does afterwards. She like takes a sip of alcohol. He pushes her up against the wall. He conjures some fire in his hand.
Threatens her with his Bic lighter.
Exactly. Spits the alcohol, which is probably like 95% at that point.
Right.
And burns his face up. Get Yaskia out of there.
Yep.
Off they go.
They run away. Bump into some ruffians who they then have to flee from, and Yen and Jaskia, they split up. She spots the prostitute.
Yeah.
Quick in here, and gasp. Who knew you couldn't trust
a prostitute? Oh my god. Oh no.
And there are guards waiting for her.
Yes.
Sorry, but a girl's got to eat.
Yeah.
And they basically arrest her.
Yeah. Put her down for a bit so they can, I don't know,
Question
hold on a
her or
second.
wait for more people to come. She's a dangerous mage.
Yeah.
So like,
But they don't ask her any questions, and they don't use like.
are you
demurred-
her?
You don't use the proper handcuffs or anything like that. They're just like,
Just
all
wait
right,
here.
wait. The law compels you.
Yeah, right.
Oh well, shit. No, I'm not.
And then what happens? I guess Jessica
think-
finds.
Yeski tries to find her,
Yeah.
and is looking around, sees her through the window, and at that point, because she's like helpless and she's like trying to get out and whatnot, she hears whispers from that
The undying mother, yeah,
undying
yeah,
mother.
yeah.
It's like all you need to do is say the word, and then we'll take
Right.
care of you.
It's weird because from Jessica's perspective, we see like smoke or embers or something.
Yeah,
And then it cuts to Yen in the thing around like the witch's cauldron or whatever. I guess that's where it was coming from.
Yeah.
And they're talking. And she's like, no, I don't want to be in your debt. I'll make a trade or something. And,
Right.
And then basically the undying mother tells her, okay, I want this girl.
the
Ciri.
girl who looks like this who turns into
Oh, yeah, that's
Ciri,
right.
and it's like you find her, and then I'll give your
Yeah.
powers back.
And then we're
whatnot.
good,
It's like,
basically.
bless, this girl means nothing to me. I'll go do
Yeah,
that.
this will
I'm sure
be
she'll
so easy.
Easy
Kidnap
money,
one
baby.
kid. I'm a mage. I'm a 100-year-old mage of the Brotherhood.
Exactly.
This is easy to, you know.
I was on the verge of kidnapping a kid anyway because I can't have any of my own, so this
Innit?
works out great.
Right.
This is practice.
Right? Where are we? Oh my god, I wish we'd. They both know again. Oh, also, big major factor, which we did totally forget, while Geralt is with Istrid, he drops that Yen's alive.
Yeah, he
Only because
does.
5 episodes
Fucking
to
hell.
finally just be like, oh, I knew Yen. Oh, you know Yen as well. I knew her.
He says, "Oh, you know Yenna?" And it's like Yen, bitch.
Right.
It's like cool. Shut
I
the
mean,
fuck up.
maybe calm down on which nickname you use for your dead girlfriend.
Exactly. You didn't even know she was alive until 2 seconds ago.
Right.
But I love his proper like.
You're trying to
Shut-
flex,
bro.
yeah.
This is my chick, alright? You may have had a fling one time, or you may have wanted it, but look, I'm Geralt of motherfucking Rivia,
Right.
the Butcher of Blaviken,
That's it.
Superman. You know, come on, let's be honest.
Um,
And
Let's
he's looking,
see.
he's like, yeah, okay.
let me see. Hold on 1 second. Triss loses her shit. Still a sight dragon. So okay. We're all back up to date with Geralt and Ciri. Everybody's together. Istrid returns back to his like library or wherever he works.
Yeah.
And I guess it's all in his head, thinking about what happened. And he somehow...
Just so you guys know in the video, I'm yawning, but that's because Isla's been really sick and I haven't been sleeping because of it. You know all about that.
I do.
So, but that's sorry for that. I'm not being rude or anything. Thank you.
You should have just gone with being rude. Just like, yawn!
You guys all suck. Oh, I don't want to be here.
Istrid, I don't exactly remember if he clocks... Yeah, he can't have been told about Ciri, right? I don't think he is, but he gets back and looks at... I think there is a connecting thread that I'm forgetting, but he looks at that statue that he nearly knocked over in the beginning.
And he also looks at a book as well, right?
Yeah,
Of
he
like
realizes
the
like...
family tree.
Yeah, and so he finds Ciri's family heritage. It's a bit... He must know about Ciri. There's something
Must
that
have
I'm
missed that part.
forgetting or have skipped over in my notes, but he clocks that like maybe it's a bloodline thing,
Yeah.
and he goes through the book and can't figure it out, and that's that basically.
For that time, yeah.
Yen does the thing for her magic. What the hell? Oh, the elf lady
Yes.
and Fringilla are all happy-go-lucky friends.
Yeah. We're great friends.
Right,
The
they're all
prophecy
friendly
says
now.
That, we're
That
friends.
one chick is like, you know, I've had servants and leaders and stuff, but I've never had a partner. Oh, yay, let's be besties. Let's go down to the docks.
Besties.
Right. BFFs for life.
Yeah.
And then Bullsack guy arrives.
Yes. Yeah.
And then everything changes.
He arrives because he comes with all like the other elves off of the boat and stuff
Right,
like
right.
that, and he's very demanding at that point, just like fuck all of you.
Yeah, he's
fucking
been-
elves and whatnot.
Laying low, I guess, for too long, and he's like, you know what? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama. Maybe I'm the drama. He's the drama.
Good to see you're still alive,
Yeah.
Fringilla. That's like, okay.
And then I think we're on episode 6.
Episode 6. Yeah, here we go. I think you've been doing a good job. If you want to continue, you can.
No, I
do have
beg you
notes.
do it, because I know we condense everybody's roles,
Yeah.
but I take my notes consecutively,
Right.
which is probably the better way to do it on.
No worries. I'll do a bit now as well. All right. So episode 6 opens up with Geralt and Ciri on the road. They've left now because he knows what's coming. No, something's coming for her. This is a very bad place to be, and also we need to get away from Vesemir. He might in the night just come along and stab him, like, "Oh, you're a witcher!" No, you see what I'm saying right there, with 17 needles, just like that.
There's too many needles.
Yeah. Geralt perfectly like sums up her actions in the last episode. It's like you almost killed yourself trying to become a witcher. Also, you can kill yourself trying to get revenge.
Right.
It's like,
you know, when you say it like that, Geralt, yeah, it sounds silly.
maybe you didn't think that one through there,
Right.
Sirius. Ah, shit, yeah, he's got a point there. Siri says that she needs more. She needs to be more. She needs to matter for
She
something.
needs more. She says she needs more from him.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that he's not. She needs her to be dad.
Yeah.
That's really what I need. Like the emotional thing. You can't just be a servant.
Yeah.
You can't just worry about your duty to me. You gotta like be a human.
And Geralt kind of connects for a second.
Yeah.
He's like, I understand.
Yeah.
And just as he's about to connect,
Cock blocked by something overhead. A churner
you
bog.
don't even get to see what it is first of all. And I'm just like, is it an invisible thing? Oh, this is really cool.
Yeah. What?
But so goes, and he goes, and he senses something. He tells her to like come along, let's go. And he does say some kind of Chernobog or something like that. It's the thing from the monolith, the glass
Stellasite dragoon.
exactly. And he goes, okay, stay here, stay on Roach, and he goes out into like the lake that's there, and the thing comes like swooping in. It's like, stay where you are. He gives it one ard, it goes flying off to the side. Gives it another ard, and it's like, yeah, but that's not taking it down.
No.
But then it goes over Geralt, and it's like,
It goes
run,
for Ciri,
Ciri! And she manages to get out of the way at the last second. However,
Sad.
tragic loss. Gets our girl Roach.
That's right.
And Roach,
Mate,
straight down. I was sad.
It freaks her up, and it is really sad. I do like, by the way, skipping ahead a bit. Roach doesn't make it. I do like that he says like a really sort of tender goodbye.
Yeah.
Like he says something like about like walk in the meadow, meet your friend for for she's not an enemy, or something like that's death, I guess. And then puts her down, I guess, because they're on the road in medieval Poland. There are no vets.
Exactly. And also the big scratches you saw in like the back calf area, that was like 4, 5, 6, 7 inches deep in there. Where is that?
And like 2 were across her like leg, and 1 was through her guts.
Yeah, this is
Like,
not going to work out.
It was
They
so
put
sad,
horses
though.
down for less.
For broken legs and stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
Skipping back,
Yes.
Geralt realizes after her.
Yes, puts her up on like a rock up
Yeah.
high and says, okay, Siri, you're going to go up there and you're going to hold your ground, okay? Takes a quick potion, and all you hear after this is like, you see the thing flying through the air, spot Siri, comes flying down, you hear Geralt like, hold your ground, stay where you are, hold. And then Geralt just flies out of the air with his sword and just smashes it right in the chest, cuts it open that, nails it at the last second.
Old bait and switch. I will say one thing. It seems like they do not know that there are other potions, because he's
It's the only
constantly taking the black blood potion.
And I'm like, that's just for vampires, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's just to make your blood poisonous, so if something eats you, it gets poisoned.
Yeah, and Bruska.
Yeah, exactly. For stuff that's going to eat you.
That wants to eat
Right.
you, exactly.
It could have used a bunch of other things, and if it was an eye effect, they could have done white eyes, they could have done red, they could have done anything for the visual, but they don't. He could have gone green. Who cares?
Yeah.
But that is bugging me. I gotta be honest.
If fucking nails it and he's like, where the fuck are my swords? I thought that was going to mean something later, but it's just he just dropped them somewhere.
It totally doesn't. Also, as soon as he gets his swords back, they go somewhere and he gives them away.
Yeah.
But we're now back onto something just before we skip it, he says to Ciri, like, what you did up there was really brave. I'm proud of you.
Yes.
So he's getting to be less the Witcher, more Geralt.
Yeah. He says, Ciri's sorry about Roach, but Geralt knows it's not her fault. And he says he's proud of her. It's like, you took courage to stand there on that rock. I was like, damn, this is...
We're starting to get Dad of Rivia.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice.
She mentioned something as well here. She mentions that she had that pulling feeling again.
Yeah.
And it's like, I had that feeling of being pulled, but it didn't want to hurt her.
Yeah, I feel like it didn't want to hurt me.
And he's like, didn't want to hurt you.
Also, that seems to make sense to him.
Yeah.
And actually, when she says
that,
that,
doesn't inquire any more than that. He's like, didn't want to hurt you. And he's like,
when she says that as well, it's interesting because I thought back to the Leshy and I'm like, it never actually touched her. What that thing did was murk something attacking her.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He did grab her leg to pull her towards, but
we've
God
no
knows
idea
what
what-
they're going to do.
Right, we don't know. It did something. Don't get me wrong. I'm assuming it was going to munch her, but like
Yeah.
when you look back on it, and she says, "I don't think it wanted to hurt me," which, by the way, might just be different for this one. What did that weird monster head that got cut off do? It murked something attacking her,
Yeah.
and then followed her.
Yeah.
It didn't actually hurt her at all.
Yeah.
It didn't attack her.
Well, this is the thing. It could be,
you know.
it could be a couple of things. It could be that the Leshy, because the Leshy is the thing that they tested, right? And they tested. So this is all confusing because I was going to
It is
say
confusing, isn't it?
maybe the Leshy thing wasn't going to attack her. It was going to pull her for some reason.
Yeah.
Same like this thing wasn't going to attack
Maybe,
her. It was going
yeah,
to take
yeah.
somewhere. But that other thing was going to attack her, and that killed the Leshy because it knew its intentions or whatever.
Don't know.
But they seem like they were from the same thing because they both tested the
They
stellar
have the
sight
stellar
stuff.
sight. That's
So
right.
it's confusing. I don't know what to think.
Never mind. I've retract my theory.
I don't know. What happens next? Oh, we cut to
Fringilla and Elf chick talk again, and Bullsack guy arrive. Oh yeah, they're out of like a pond or something, and she says that everything feels like it's changed since Bullsack guy got here.
Yeah.
You're different around him. And she explains, well, she used to be my superior,
yeah.
and then she says, well, like, you know what she was taught as a kid, like the elf chick's like, oh, I learned this one spell. She makes flowers bloom or something, and she's like, when we were
Ever
out at
since she was a
Tuza,
boy. Yeah.
we were taught like the fast tongue, like to get people to do what you want and think it's their idea. We taught politics and stuff. And then she says the guy used to be her superior, and she's like, well, only because you let him think that, right? You're
Yeah.
a freaking powerful mage. Like, you're one of the mages. You're
Yeah.
actually a named character if you look at the script. Like, you're pretty powerful.
Did you look at the script,
Right.
Fringilla?
And he arrives, and he has had a glow up with his armor. No more ballsack armor.
Yeah.
Thank God for that. Oh my God.
It's like, do you know what? I don't want to look like an 80-year-old ballsack. I think I might go for something else.
I don't see any reason for them to have designed the armor that way. It doesn't make any
It's very
sense.
difficult to do as well. I don't
Yeah,
know
it must
why
be
you do
more
that.
expensive. It's so freaking weird. Geralt takes Ciri to like a fertility clinic.
Oh, is that that's the monastery? Whatever
Yeah,
the fuck it is.
I will say there is one line on the way. Ciri sort of like they're walking up on completely the wrong side of the lake.
Yeah.
And she sort of opens up to Geralt about what happened. You know, like he's sort of asking about her screaming. I think because of the Chernobog.
Yeah.
And then she opens up about like, you know, this one time in Sodden or wherever it was, like these 4 guys came for me, and she's like, and you screamed, yeah, and I killed them. And he's like, only 4? You got a lot of catching up to do. Point being, like, you're carrying a lot of guilt, and it ain't as big as it could be.
Yeah. And as well, you want to be like me, a Witcher, right?
You got a lot of catching up to do.
There's going to be a lot more death ahead of you.
Right, you got a lot of catching up to do. And so they turn up to the temple, which I guess
Yes.
he says it's famous for its neutrality.
Yep.
Um,
Militale. I've got it written down here, but I don't fucking remember. what it's
Yep,
called.
that sounds about
Yeah,
right.
the goddess of fertility and harvest. They say they go look at the thing,
Yeah.
and it turns out Geralt came here to learn as a boy.
Yeah, this is where witches go to learn the signs, which I really feel like is something you would remember.
Yeah,
It's like a really
Oh.
dope part of your job.
it's around here somewhere.
Yeah, I feel like, you know how, some people like they'll send someone out to train and then that person comes back and retrains everybody there. You know, like I don't feel like you have to send little boys all the way to this temple. You could just have like the adult witches teach them the
I
signs.
have that knowledge now. I can pass that on.
All right.
No. It must be learnt from these monk people.
Right, we have to go on this giant trek across monster-infested woods and stuff, just so you can learn the stuff that I could teach you, but I'm not gonna.
They meet the woman that's there, and she seems to want to help Ciri. She says that she can help Ciri control the chaos inside her.
Yeah.
And the woman starts talking about how, like, when Geralt was here, his Ard almost destroyed the monastery and points to, like, a massive crack in the fucking office.
Yeah.
So, Geralt, boy, you've been... if it's anything like Smallville, where he gets his laser eyes for the first time, he gets it because he gets the hots for the teacher. So Geralt probably just got really horny and then just went poof, like that.
Right.
From her, obviously in
Of
her prime, she
course.
probably looked a lot hotter. But
Yeah, she probably was a
Yeah.
stunner.
she's barely wearing anything as well. It's not beautiful.
I think we skipped saying, maybe it was last episode or this episode, but Fire Guy arrives at Kaer Morhen.
It was just a bit before this,
Okay.
yeah.
Fire Guy arrives at Kaer Morhen, somehow gets all the way in without anybody noticing.
Yeah.
Trained fighters / not quite assassins and like monster murderers and stuff. None of these guys notice. Gets all the way down to the lab,
Yeah.
which is no idea where it is.
Just before they have the altercation, Vesemir and Triss, they're talking. They're like, I realize about what. Vez realizes what he was doing at that point, and he's like, Triss says her blood is way more dangerous than we realize and whatnot. And then this guy turns up in front of them.
This guy arrives, beefs them out.
Yeah.
And we did forget one thing from episode 5. He tells Jaskier that the thing about fire magic, what makes it so dangerous, is there are only 2 ways to use it. One is to consume something, and I thought he was threatening to pull his life out to use the fire.
I was looking at him. I was like, is he going to change color now?
Is he going to age or something? Right.
Yeah.
Like they did at the beginning with the flowers in season 1.
Or even those girls that turned into fire to be thrown at Sodom and just disappeared into nothing.
Or it consumes your soul. And the point is, this villain is soulless.
Hey.
Anyway, they fight.
Yeah.
He murks Vesemir.
The way Vesemir fucking like, he pulls like a mop, snaps off the head, snaps it in half.
Yeah.
Ha! It's like you're going up against a guy who literally has flamethrowers in his hands with sticks.
It's kind of weird because I like the Vesemir just wastes no time. It's like, you're not a guest. Boom. And starts attacking the guy.
Where's your invitation?
Right. And I can't tell if I like certain things about this fire dude, because initially he just uses like a lighter off his finger, which is weird. He shields himself with fire, which I didn't like. But then when he pulls away, it's like black smoke, which I did like. I can't tell if this guy's cool or not.
I think he's kind of... Don't get me wrong. I don't like him because he's a one-trick pony.
I agree.
He doesn't have anything else. Like, what kind of a mage only has the fire?
Like,
that's
cool.
it.
You can use fire, but you don't have to.
Use something else. Put someone to mind sleep for a second. Where fuck, even the elf woman could do that.
One of the things that bugs me about this as well is like one of my favorite lines from The Witcher 3 is when you find Lambert for the first time. If you do his quest, he tells you, which is one of the reasons I love Axii as a sign. He tells you that 2 guys came for him and he convinced them to commit suicide using Axii, and one killed his friend and then hung himself or something like that. And I'm like, that's so freaking dope. I mean, it's quite macabre as well, but it's really dope. Like, let's see some of that. Or like sleep and then beef out the guy. Like, you don't have to just use fire. So I'm with you. It's one-trick pony. But I did like that he teleports in smoke. Yeah, that was cool. Triss again useless.
Yeah, she doesn't really work out.
150-year-old Vesemir who knows entry-level signs.
The only thing she does do is that she, like, after he's gone, Vesemir, it's like, Lambert!
Yeah, she calls for someone else.
There we go.
And let's just get all of Triss's stuff done. She calls for Lambert, also clocks that fire guy stole the vial of blood, which I don't know how he knew it was there. I don't know how he knew it was important.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they were talking about it. Let's give him that. But, like, still, you paying that much attention?
I had an inkling that he took that, but I don't know how he would have taken it. I was like, you left just out of nowhere. You didn't finish the fight or anything like that.
And you never bent down to pick it up.
Yeah, but I was like, how do you know what that is or anything like that?
It's weird.
The only thing that I can put in this is that maybe, because he was searching for Ciri, he was drawn to Ciri...
Like her essence?
And her thing, yeah. And then sensed that there was something here, and then... could locate it, like, this is something, and just took it. That's the only thing I can say. But there's no evidence to point to that. That's the only issue.
And it seems like he can't do that because he tracks her last known location or where he suspects Geralt might be. And
he can only do fire, so there's that.
Exactly.
There's nothing else.
It is bizarre. Frickin' let's just do fire guy. He pulls away, meets up with the chick that let him out.
Yes.
Says he wants to meet her employer, and she's like,
renegotiating.
Okay, whatever. By the way, somehow she knows where they are. They're at the fertility clinic. You'll need a crew.
Yeah.
It's now a heist, I guess. Okay, fine, cool. Istrid, back in wherever the frick he is, Sintra, can't find the answer that he's looking for, so he goes to Codringer and Fenn legal service.
Yes.
I literally paused it I literally paused it to read it. I'm like, how are they going to make this work? It's not like Codringer and Fenn antiquities and curiosities. You know, it's not the library of lost books.
You're gonna find like an ornament, and it turns out this is like the Horcrux to finding this thing. Is like
they're lawyers.
Like, what's going on here?
They're lawyers.
But then they prove themselves a little bit valuable.
Yeah. So like he comes in and the guy sort of sneaks up and he's like, "You're lucky the trap's not working. There's like 12-inch things that come out the lintel and just slaughter people." Like, you're gonna limit your customers like that.
Yeah,
But-
it might be the best idea.
You know,
yeah.
but okay.
And he's coming for information. It's like information is the most powerful thing.
Yeah.
It's simply, yeah.
One thing about this is, initially when Istrid gets there, the two of them seem to know way more than they should about everything that's going on. Then once he has an actual question, no idea, mate.
Yeah. We're gonna have to do some research. Hold on a sec. Find this book. No, go to that book. Go to this book.
Oh, get the scroll.
The scroll. The only one in the house.
Yeah, the. You know when I say the scroll? Come on, it's not a scroll. The.
You know the one in the MCU. The scroll.
There you go. They start reading it, and I don't exactly remember how they come to the conclusion, but basically they read this one section about like the elves. Oh no, I have it written down here. They find. Oh, he finds a fancy gene that he doesn't know the name of.
Yes.
And it's like ancient elvish or elder or whatever. And the person's like, get the scroll. And they read it out. It says, the elves built a weapon to destroy the humans. This is like as the conjunction had happened. Yeah. And then someone goes, no. Something here is not not working.
It's spelt this way.
Yeah.
It's a mistranslation.
It's not a weapon. It's a warrior.
Yes.
I'm like, cool. I wish we had some frame of reference.
Yeah. And then they go, it's someone called Lara Doran. And the funny thing is that they mention in this thing, they go, they mention it's a woman laying in a field with those flowers sprouting. And we're like, aha, I know what that is. That's from series Vision. That must be her and whatnot.
The Vision that we totally remember to mention the wild hunt that she sees for the first time.
Exactly.
We definitely remember that. Weirdly, sort of out of place, Dara reports to the owl.
Yeah.
Which makes me think it is Amelia.
Yeah.
Not Earhart.
Amelia Earhart, yeah.
Is it Amelia?
Yeah, I think it was.
You know the one with the gem eyes.
Yeah.
She's also banging. I'm pretty sure that is like a. I mean, look, if they can do it in Harry Potter, they can do it in this.
Yes, exactly. Do you mind if I go back to the monastery thing?
Yeah, go for it.
So they have a word with that woman, and they go, she's going to help her.
Yeah.
And the woman sends Siri off with some boy, some kid, to go to the library so they can learn some stuff.
Talk about their tools. How big his tool is, yeah.
He says that in a minute. Goes outside, and Geralt asks, and goes, well then, now you've seen her, what do you think? And she just lays it out straight.
I love this calm, like almost a nun kind of thing.
Well, I don't see any situation where you aren't entirely fucked.
I love it.
And he lays out outside. It's like, yeah, she's a princess. People are gonna be coming after her. She's a elder
bloodline. She's the chaos. Like
you're fucked.
You're fucked. I love it. That was so good. Also, because she's so like calm.
Yeah.
And like zen.
Yeah.
And like she seems to not have all the answers, but like she'd be the right person to go to for finding the answers.
Yeah.
Like she's a knowledgeable person. She's almost like, if this was the Matrix, she's almost the Oracle.
Almost the Oracle.
You know?
Yeah. I like it.
And neutral, and like she's obviously commanding. Like I think this is one of the only people we've ever seen Geralt defer to.
Yeah.
Ever. And she's like it's clear that I think he's actually in front of her, but he's following her, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Well, you know that if one of them turns, she'll just keep walking. If she turns, Geralt's gonna follow. You know. And she's like, "Yeah, you're fucked."
Yeah.
It was so good. I really like that scene, and I hope we get to see more of her. At least in the next episode. Just not, I don't see a lot of it being relevant, but it'd be cool to have her do something.
At the end, they do leave that area. Well, Geralt's still there, so maybe you see a little bit more of her, but we'll see. They do. She does say you need to find the missing part of her to make this whole thing work and whatnot. Very elusive and don't know what that is. There is a moment where they cut back to Kaer Morhen where Vesemir is saying like, "What would a mage want with Vesemir?" And they goes, "It wasn't me they were after. It wasn't Vesemir they were after. It's someone else." And then they show the dude with the vial.
She clocks the blood, yeah.
Exactly.
Ciri gets taken off by that boy to play with a ball on a chain.
Yeah, so
it's weird.
Come back to the monastery where the boy is trying to impress Ciri. He shows her a floating ball on a chain, but doesn't know what the hell it is. He goes, "It's a tool for mages," and he goes, "His tool is far more impressive and far more powerful."
That's right. Knowledge.
He's
a historian.
Yeah,
way better than magic, mate.
Man,
I'll tell you what. If I was doing my GCSEs again, and there was a choice between history or magic, you know I'm picking history every dickhead.
Or a big knob. Yeah.
Innit? Either one.
I don't know what that's like. And then at one point he like talking to her and he drops his book on the floor and Siri plays into it and she's like, your big old tool almost broke my toe. And I was like,
That was pretty funny.
That does happen, girls. Be careful.
It does, yes.
But serious worry.
He goes, or she goes, one of them disappears and then we sort of look down the hall and see that somehow Yen got there.
Yen got there somehow.
How did she get there?
I think she's... This is
Did the
thing.
Undying Mother teleport her?
I think she did, and this is another thing. I think there's some sort of power that can like teach, like a weird compass, like in a video game. It's like your goal is this way,
Yeah.
and they somehow knew because she looked over and she was like, so she's over there. Oh, that's Syrian.
The thing is,
recognized
like, well, she knows what she looks like
now from the
the chick showed her, and also, she's been specifically sent after Siri. The other guy was like, we need this girl, but doesn't really know anything about her. And I feel like for Yen to be there, she was probably portaled.
Yeah.
That's the feeling that I get.
Especially because she can't portal anything as well. So it's like...
Right.
Yeah. Yen goes all around the grounds and whatnot, and she does get approached by the boy, and she's like, oh, I'm just admiring the architecture, as if this is like a historical place that people just come by and like, I paid a ticket, it's here, you know, guys.
I've got my day pass.
Exactly.
She's looking for Siri, walks into a room.
And Geralt's like...
Siri, I'll be with you in a second.
Geralt.
I really like this moment.
This is so great.
I did. I liked everything about them right here.
I should put down, they look at each other like lost souls.
Yeah.
They just look at each other and then they're like, how is this possible? And
they go for the kiss, and then Siri walks in on them, and he's like, this is my Siri.
To Siri, this just looks like he's just hooked up with some bitch, and it's like, yo, all right.
The thing is,
I'm gonna allow you to do your thing.
We kind of know. She knows that witches are like this because but like, it's never. I feel like they skip that bit of Geralt's personality here, because that is what witches do: is they go around, whore it out. Yeah. One, because they might die, and two, because it's one of the things the mutagens does to them.
Yeah.
I think it also does it to the witches as well. I think it's just something about magical. But we never see her like. Do you know every barmaid in like Sintra or something? Like, she should have said something like that to let us know that. But she's like, also she's not a complete child. She knows men and women get together.
Yeah.
But she knows Yen, doesn't she? She goes, "Oh, you're Yennefer."
She knows of Yennefer, hasn't seen her and whatnot. Goes, "This is Syria, and this is a dear friend of mine." And she's just like,
"Oh, is it?"
Just a dear friend. Okay, I see. That's where I am right there. Goes, "This is Yennefer." Oh, Yennefer. Yeah. Oh, so it's like, oh, it's not just some random chick that you're just trying to slay while I'm learning.
She looks great for a zombie.
Yeah, not bad, right? I thought he was dead.
Yeah, I thought you did.
We do cut to Nilfgaard, and we see in the castle with the elves. The elves are training, and Bullsack guy picks a fight with one of the elves as well.
It's Dara, isn't it?
Yeah. Picks a fight with Dara, which is really dumb because, I mean, clearly the guy doesn't know what he's doing, and
he's a new trainee, isn't it?
He properly fights him and like obviously like pushes him on the ground and like embarrasses him. But the other elf guy sort of takes it as a thing. He goes, "You guys fight like fairies," and he pulls out a blade and puts it to his neck, and it's like, "It's impossible.
Killed them all.
You killed them all."
Also,
but just at that moment, the
baby's on the way.
Is that Ellie?
Except, just before the fight, he's been talking to another dude who's like, "Elves are scum" or whatever, and he's like, "No, like." They can be our allies and we should respect them, and a little bit of loyalty doesn't cost us much and all that stuff. And then he just goes and beats up on this trainee. It's odd. Weird. But the baby's on its way. And then Philavandrel, that's the guy's name.
Yeah.
The blonde guy who used to be the king of like a couple of elves and a goat dude. He runs to Elf Mage Lady's room. Are they a thing, by the way? I can never tell if he's being absolutely cucked by this chick.
I think he is the father of the baby, right?
No, she wishes to be pregnant.
It's magically put in, but is it...
Or do you think it's magically made to work?
I feel like... I don't know. Because he acts like he's a proper father or something like that. Or maybe just because they have a relationship that he's going to be acting like the father.
Know. It's odd.
This is the prophecy baby. It's Joseph from Mary and Joseph.
You said that as if I would know what that means.
Jesus, you know?
Oh, freaking yeah.
You know about Jesus?
Never heard.
Have you heard about Jesus?
Don't run from the Lord.
He's like, I guess this is my baby now. I guess.
Although I swear when we first meet her in like episode 1, she does say she's pregnant, but like she's not sure about it, and that's what she asked the undying mother to make sure the baby's born.
I think she says that every time she's tried to have a baby before, it doesn't go to term.
That's it.
And I couldn't figure out if she was pregnant again and this one was gonna go to term.
She definitely says that, and she definitely asks the undying mother to make her have a kid or something like that.
Yeah, it's because of her that
I
she
forget
gets
the in
baby.
between. How she gets pregnant is not important, even though that's the fun bit.
Exactly.
She squirts the kid out, but it's not crying. The sound effect.
Done.
It's not crying.
Like a zit.
And Fringilla, who's there,
Yeah.
picks it up and gives it a cuddle, and then
Doubles as a midwife.
it's not breathing, but then it is breathing, and so everything's okay.
Yeah, she like puts it on her chest. She's like, "Come on," and I'm like, "What magic is she gonna do? Well, whatever happens, the baby's alive now anyway."
Also, it's kind of weird because she says no magic, just warmth, and I'm like, they're trying to make this whole episode as well. They're trying to make her like friendly and motherly and smiley, and like all her shots are her. Like when she turns, she's really well lit.
Yeah.
She's in white for like purity and stuff. And it's like, but you're not a good person. A month ago, you absorbed people's life force as cannibals and sent mind control worms in to kill your friends.
Literally, like it was like a month ago. She did one thing where it's like one person ate something, I think it was, like of the floor, whatever it was, or some body, and then she carved open that person's stomach, and then saw the future or whatever the fuck was going on. I was like, you don't care about people, and you've practiced these dark magics,
right? Like
all of a sudden you're like,
and it's forbidden stuff. Not like fire magic is forbidden because it's really hard and accidents happen. It's like necromancy and shit, like absorbing people's life force. Like it's the actual evil shit.
Yeah.
But now she's like her friend, and she's such a good friend that she's in the room, and then she having no ability to have kids and being 100 years old and never being around them, you know, not being interested in kids, knows how to midwife a baby that's not breathing. And then also it's that line of like no magic, just warmth, as if like I'm the good guy, you can trust me because I'm Fringilla of wherever the frick I'm from.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, oh okay, Fringilla, okay.
Right.
What happens? Fringilla and Bullsack guy are watching the elf celebration.
Yeah, they're like first elven baby. What did she say? Like an elven baby. A new elf was born this night.
That's
and
right.
everyone rejoices and everyone's happy and stuff like that.
And then Bullsack guy comes and shows her a letter with, weirdly, he's called the White Flame, but it's a black wax seal.
Yeah, odd.
And also, being that she's British, she says, the White Flame wrote you to you, Fringilla. Like, I know it's an American expression, but 90% of the cast here are British.
Yeah.
It'd be okay. That bugged me. I don't know why that bugged me, but it really did. And basically...
Suck it, Americans.
Yeah, frick you. Basically, she's like, when's the White Flame's coming? He's like, yep, he'll be here any day.
Oh, here we go.
Golly gosh.
You think he's going to be happy about all these elves here? Elves? Don't think he's going to be too happy. We do...
back at the fertility clinic,
yes.
Geralt, Yen, and Ciri are all like hanging out,
Yes.
just sort of catching up.
Talking about how Yen met a unicorn.
Yen knew had a unicorn.
Yeah.
A stuffed one, by the way, which I don't think she mentions. But also, I really feel like that is an inappropriately sexual joke to be having right here, because they know what they're talking about. Ciri has no idea.
Do they know yet? Because they haven't had that bit yet, have they?
She says that they broke it. She says how that got broken. How did that happen again? And he goes, "Oh, I don't remember."
I didn't catch that. I need to watch this episode again, just for that piece. She says,
"I'm pretty sure that happens." Yeah,
because he goes, Geralt sort of like in a jokey way just says, "Oh, they're really rare, and they only approach you if you're pure of heart. How did you get one?"
Oh yeah,
and she's like, "Oh, excuse me, I am purest of hearts as they come."
Right. It's a really tender like family moment.
Yeah, it's really nice, isn't it?
And then Ciri, I chose to believe this, which I don't know if it's intended, but I chose to believe she's like, I'm gonna give him some time alone, and she goes like, I'm gonna go and get on with my studies. And she's like, I'll walk you. No, like I gotta go do the thing. You know,
this guy has been very lonely. He needs anal. Go ahead.
Oh
Ciri's like, I know what men want. Oh, mate. We both know.
Jesus Christ! But so she goes off to use the ball.
Yeah,
She
she
try and
takes
figure it out, right?
take the ball with her and everything like that.
And
Wait,
then-
Siri does mention one thing. Just while they were there, they're saying that you're the most powerful mage. Geralt said that you're the most powerful mage he'd ever seen. And goes, I dreamed about you once. That's how I knew who you
Yeah.
were. Kind of creepy, but okay.
Yeah.
And then she says she's gonna go to bed and stuff like that.
Right. Well, she says she's gonna. I think she says she's gonna go study or work on figuring it out. And then we cut to sort of Siri looking around. She finds the book, that guy's massive tool on the floor,
Yeah, his massive tool is on the floor.
and she picks it up and there's blood in it. And then she looks and there's a blood trail. She
Yeah.
follows it and finds that kid whose name I don't know.
Dead.
And then Fire Guy and his crew arrive.
Surprise, which is weird. I don't know how.
That's French for surprise, if you didn't know.
I'm very cultural. I understand many languages, so just so you know. Sheps as well. He'll
It's true. I have
translate
many
for you.
leather-bound books.
Many, and your house smells of mahogany.
It's true. They kind of. What actually happens? I feel like I don't remember anything they said until Geralt arrives.
There is one bit in between. I don't know if this ends up being something in between. So before Siri gets to that guy, she starts lighting candles with the mum.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say mum because she's like the mum of the monastery.
Yeah.
And she lights one for Mousecrack. And she's like, "Oh, it's an interesting name," or something like that. And they go, and then she goes and finds the guy.
Yeah.
She ran into the mage, and did you say why does he want her? Yeah.
He doesn't say why he wants to. He says, "You're going to come with me."
Okay, so this happens very quickly in between. There's so many things that happen
Okay.
here. So Yen and Geralt start to walk away, and they start to have a little conversation. And it goes,
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
she mentions she ran into Jeskir, and the Jeskir was being interrogated by a mage because this mage is looking for Ciri.
She says the mage was looking for Geralt, but Geralt knows that means he was looking for Ciri.
He's looking for Ciri.
Which is a weird thing to know because Geralt has a lot of enemies and a lot of them are mages.
Yes. And she goes, why? Why does he want her? Like, really, like,
Yeah, really
unreasonably.
probing, yeah.
And he's like, what's going on? Like, your heart has been beating very fast ever since you got here.
Yeah.
What is it, Yen?
And also one of the things I like is there is no way I'm nervous around you card's going to work here. Like, you're 100 years old. You've spent plenty of time with Geralt. Like, you're also one of the most powerful things that exists on this planet.
Exactly.
As far as he knows, because he doesn't know about the magic. Yeah. You're also one of the most seasoned in politics, in lying, in dealing with powerful people and all that stuff. There is no way you just have my heart all aflutter line's going to work, you know? So, and I think she starts to kind of panic there because she realizes that, like, if the big doe eyes don't do it, she has no reason.
She's got to break out the big guns.
Right. Oh, God. It's the lip licking that gets it.
And it's going to be like... Anyway. And this is the part where he's on the floor. And then the mage guy comes in, and just as he's about to, like, attack them and whatnot, Geralt...
Ciri punches one with the ball.
Exactly.
And then Geralt arrives, and time to get messed up.
The way he just stands in front of her, it's like, take Ciri. I'll catch up with you guys in a bit.
Yeah.
No
So
fucking
badass.
chill. And they come attacking. He just one by one smacks them. He takes one or two scrapes every now and again, make it realistic. But he's
superhuman, but he's still human.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He punches one guy's teeth out of his face.
That was nice.
He ards one guy that's on top of him.
Oh,
and then
this
pulls
was filth.
a sword, and then he lands back on it.
Oh, that was so sick.
This is great. This is
He
like
uses
fantastic.
Quen. I think Fire Guy throws magic at him or something, and he uses Quen to shield it. Very satisfying. I do wish that they would be a little bit more flashy with the signs, though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when we did see Axie, he just does the thing, and Roach calmed down. And I would have liked to have seen, like, in the game, that little, like, thread.
White glow thing.
Yeah. And I feel like Quen and Ard and Earden, you know, the ceiling one, they all basically look the same, which is a blue force fieldy thing.
Yeah.
And
we haven't seen Igni properly yet.
we haven't seen Igni at all. All he's done is a non-canon, never happened before, and also wouldn't work because it's like a magic where it has to be fire in the heart, and it's just hot metal, which I feel like, because it's one of those specific things, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Like, all he did was heat up his sword, and
we know all about witches, and we are witches, so we get this thing.
It's true.
So that's why we have.
I wish I don't think it would be too hard to do that. You know, to do the Igni thing, even just a little bit, and just show us, make Quen, you know, freaking yellow like it's in the game, just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just a bit too basic. I get that it's real. It's like a real world thing.
Yeah.
But like, I don't see any problem with making like a purple force fieldy thing with some of those symbols. Like, you know how it goes on the ground? Just have them floating around a bit.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's magic. You know, you get to decide how magic works. It's magic. That's the point.
Yeah, it's your thing. You get to do that.
So that bugged me.
While he's beating up these guys, the fire dude actually finds where they are. They've locked themselves in a room with no exit, and he starts firing the door.
Yeah.
I guess because again he's a one-trick pony. He's only got one fucking thing. He's melting down the door like a Obi-Wan Kenobi when he's doing it on
Qui-Gon, bruv. How do you not know
Sorry,
this?
my apologies, Qui-Gon Jinn. You're right. Thank you, sir.
Through the door in episode 1. Yeah. The best of the prequels.
All I need to do was say that, and then you knew exactly where
absolutely.
we were going. Perfect. He's melting it down, and then eventually, like Geralt comes and he throws his sword at him. And
One of the
stops
things
him
that
from
bugs
doing
me
that.
the most about that guy is he's right there. He's looking for the person that he's agreed to find. Also, Yen is incredibly powerful, and he knows Geralt the Witch is there, and he is not rushed at all.
Yeah. Just don't worry about it. I'll just stroll over there.
Like,
knock
you
down
know
the
mages
door.
lose fights. Like, that's a thing. You know Geralt of Rivia at this point.
You had your face burnt off 2
Right.
seconds ago.
Right. And so, sort of in between things, Yen gets Ciri into a room and they lock it.
Yeah.
And she's like, you need to portal us away. I thought you were the most powerful mage. Well, like, it doesn't... Not right now. Just, you got to do this. You
Yeah.
have to portal us away. And I'll teach you how to do it.
Yeah. And she conjures this portal using the ball thing, the ball and chain that they have. It pops open, the portal pops open, and she steps through it just as Geralt stops the guy. And then Geralt goes up to the door and can see through the door.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yen, don't go.
Yen, stop. And then
Can't.
she just goes, I can't. And she just walks through.
So, two things. One, Geralt stops the guy by throwing the sword and he, like, portals away.
Yeah.
I actually visually love his portals, like smoky and shadowy and stuff. Do you notice, though, that Ciri's portal's pure, like, pearl white?
Yeah.
And I think there's supposed to be something in that. And it's not, because it's not cold blue frosty. It's like pearl white, pure and shit.
And then she portals to Cyberpunk 2077.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
She doesn't. They're doing war from far away.
Everybody had, like, metal in their head. Where do they land? Is it Sintra?
Do we see where they
I
land?
assume it's like her grandmother's burnt out room.
I think they
We
do
do see
right?
them land somewhere, but I don't know because they throw up. 'cause
Yes,
portals
yeah,
are
they
grim.
do. Yeah. Where did
And-
you take us? That's what
Yeah,
it says on
and then
the
we
note.
don't know. Did you recognize it? I didn't.
I didn't. And then the last thing that I have in my notes is that Triss then portals to Professor McGonagall.
Yeah.
And she's like in her nightwear, so she like wraps up quickly. And she's like,
Smoking weed or something.
Yeah,
she totally got caught. Yeah. Yeah.
it's like nothing, don't worry, nothing about that.
Don't you worry about that.
Yep. And tells her about Sirius. Like, you know,
Yeah.
my allegiance is to you, not the council. I
Not
don't care about
Aratus.
them.
Yeah.
It's about Ciri's blood. End of the episode.
Yeah, I think she actually says like she's far more dangerous. She could destroy everything,
Yes.
something like that. You're a rat.
Yeah, fucking rat.
That really
rat.
bugged me because, like, don't get me wrong. Look, yeah, I do simp Triss mainly in the games because she's like a redhead. And
Of course, you would
yeah.
fucking pick Triss, wouldn't you?
Hold on.
That's what Tyler said.
Yeah. But look, I totally appreciate Yen's the real pick.
Yeah.
I just liked going with Triss because one, I'm a freaking contrarian, and
Yeah.
it's like also more side content.
You and George, right there.
Right, but Yen's obviously the obvious pick, right? But this Triss sort of falls over. Nothing happens at Sodden. Like, doesn't do anything. She's useless. From the games, like, she's a monster there, like, in a good way. And she's super powerful and, like, super viable as a person. And then in this, like, they change her look. So she was cast wrong, and then they change her look, and she looks even worse somehow because they're trying to shoehorn her into the looking right, and it totally doesn't work. And then this Triss acts like she cares about Ciri until things get hard, at which point she's like, don't come anywhere near me.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to rat you out. I really don't like the writing for Triss. And it's not the actress. The actress is okay.
Yeah.
You know, again, like, it's just a couple of people are the wrong actor, for, you know, visually wrong for the role. But she's fine.
Yeah.
But this Triss is dog shit, man. I freaking hate it. Oh, my days.
You've ruined the one thing that he liked about The Witcher. That was
Yeah, the only thing. Yeah,
Only thing you liked.
in fairness, it also has a lot of side content, and that's my jam.
There you go. It's all him. Let's kick over to our boys over at the Discord server,
That's
right
right.
in, just like you guys can, to join us with these episodes. Mr. 56, fucking car 56. He says, I quite like the opening. The camera angles feels unique for the show. The bounty hunter better not hurt my boy Jeskier though. I'm kind of warming to Vesemir. I still don't like the handlebar mustache, but I'm starting to like him. Also, why does every single character, apart from the main three, have new hairstyles? Also, can we all agree Bounty Hunter guy's real name is Shithead Firefucker? I like that name.
I'll tell you what, that could be it.
Give it to him. Give it to him. It's right there. Overall, this show keeps getting better and better. I can't wait to watch the next episodes and seasons of and other shows. Thank you, bro, for writing in your
Thank you.
There.
I actually do agree with you about Vesemir. I've warmed him a lot. I just don't get the mustache. It's weird. It's a weird choice, but okay.
Yeah.
And we are ramping up
Yeah.
a lot better. It's just a pity it's right at the end.
Yeah.
You know.
Last 2 episodes coming up.
That's right. Adam says, I think it's Adam Sunling.
Yes.
Let's have a look. Ooh, take your time, Discord. Yeah. He says, this show is horrible. That's my review of these 2 episodes. But fear not, I shall return for an essay for episode 8. And yes, only episode 8, because 1 hour of The Witcher is more than enough torture for me.
You have to write episode 8 and... Oh, wait, hold on. Episode 8's the last one.
Yeah.
So you have to do 7 and 8, okay? Come on.
I'll say, weirdly, I'm in both boats where like it's getting better and I'm enjoying it. And I'm okay with Vesemir now and some of the casting choices, and I still hate that they did Eskel dirty and stuff. But like, I'm kind of enjoying it a little bit in a mindless way. The second I think about it, I'm fully in agreement with Adam. You know,
I feel you.
and if it was, I'll tell you this: if Henry Cavill wasn't in this, I would be 100% out.
Yeah.
I would not be watching it. I wouldn't care. I'd be really, really,
There's some
really
other really
pissed.
good stuff as well. Like the production quality is amazing. I do like the visual effects on the monsters and whatnot. I think they look really good.
Yeah, they're pretty decent. Yeah,
And like you said, Geralt is fantastic and stuff like that. But then there's just this. Sometimes the story gets too convoluted and they're too pieced apart. And then some characters just do really dumb things.
that make no sense, or they cheap out with like the Igni.
Yeah.
Like what? Why do that? Why
So
do that?
odd.
I also feel like it would have been more expensive to do it that way than to just have like a quick boof fire burst or like a flamethrower thing. You know?
I wonder if it's just they didn't know how to do it because in the game it's just like embers essentially, but then we just know that it puts a status effect of like fire on things.
Although if you max it out, you get like a flamethrower. So how come the witches
Yeah.
can do it and they're allowed fire magic, but other people aren't?
That's a good point.
Maybe that's why they did it the way they did it. It's because they fricked
make it seem
themselves
different.
with the fire magic stuff.
They've
Yeah,
ruined
maybe.
themselves
Yeah.
Big Tone writes in responses to Adam's comment, and he says, "You're horrible." Much agree. Much agree.
Sean,
Yeah.
I think sums up a lot of these opinions really, really well. It's quite long.
Alright.
He says, mid.
Jesus, man, we're running a little bit late. Do you want to shorten it up next time? Jesus
hell.
Christ, 3 whole letters.
I will say, weirdly, mid I think would have fit from like episode 2 to episode 4.
Yeah.
Strongly mid. 5 and 6 pretty. 1 so far I think has been the best.
Yeah,
by a long
I like
way.
that a lot.
A lot. That was very Witcher. And then 5 and 6 have been okay. Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that is the end of episode. 3 of our episode, but 5 and 6 of the Witcher. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode. Next week will be the last parts that we review, episode 7 and 8.
That's right.
Go watch those. Come back here next week and we can go check
I feel like
that
go
out.
watch them as if no one has watched it.
No one's already watched it, right?
Alright.
Like they were waiting.
That's
They
the
were
one
waiting
thing I
for us.
appreciate about Disney Plus, actually. I think I said it before, but like Disney Plus gave me a reason to watch something every week. With The Witcher, if it wasn't for this, I would have binged the whole thing in 1 or 2 nights and been out
Yeah.
of stuff to watch. I'd have nothing to look forward to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There we go. All right, guys. We'll catch you all in the next one. Bro, I'll catch you in the next one.
Catch you there. And if you're not done, Discord linked in the description below.
That's it.
It's a good place to hang, boys. Because what you do, is that a sword or a baseball?
I'm doing what Siri does
Bam.
with her wooden sword. She's like slashing
Right.
indiscriminately just at this thing
Yeah.
as if that means something. I don't know.
Oh, can I, before we go, can I say one thing that bugs the shit out of me?
Go on.
Where they do the swish, swish, flip the sword back to front. I hate that. You know, so the blade's like down.
Yeah.
I hate when they do that in movies. It doesn't make any sense.
It's like now I can't
Yeah.
properly defend
Like,
myself.
I can't properly defend myself. The blade's facing towards me. I lose all my power. I lost all my reach. It doesn't even look that good. It's not like that. Oh, I hate it so much. I hate
Hey,
it so
look,
much.
they're professional swordsters.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Swordists.
Swordists. Yeah.
Swordists.
That's-
There we go.
that's
So
correct.
don't try and tell them about anything, okay? See ya.